everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making a Bible book cover with handles, and also for a bonus we're also going to be making a pen holder that is detachable. I'm going to demonstrate how to obtain your measurements, but I'm also going to leave the instructions in the description box below. And supplies needed is your fabric and also batting, button, elastic, and also the book that you're going to be covering. Well, let's get started on how to get the measurements for your fabric. I begin by obtaining the width of the book. And since my tape measure likes to dance a little bit, what I like to do is take some tape, and then once that's secured, and then I just roll it around and obtain the measurement. Once you get the measurement, you jot it down, and then we're going to be adding an inch. And now we're going to measure the height. And now I've obtained my measurements. I added an inch, and now I'm going to be cutting my fabric for the outer, the lining, and also for the batting. Now we're going to begin by assembling the handles. We're going to fold it in half lengthwise and then iron, and I'll be right back. And the measurements for the handle fabric is also in the description box. And now when it's ironed, what you do is you open the fabric and fold your outer edges into the center ironed line. It's going to look like a jumbo bias tape. Once that's done, we'll go ahead and iron that as well. And now we're going to sew on each side of the handles 1/8 of an inch. And now we're going to begin the assembling. First we're going to lay down our batting and then lay our lining fabric on top of that. And then we're going to do our inside little pockets that holds our book. We're going to fold it up lengthwise and make sure your outer part is facing out and your folded part in. And then I like to pin my fabric into place. And now we're going to be placing the handles. What I like to do is place the edge of the handle 2 inches away from the corner. We're going to be placing the elastic that's going to hold the book closed. And how I obtain the measurement is I take the measurement from the width of the book and double it. And now we're going to be sewing with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, and be sure to reinforce stitching on top of the handles and the elastic. And now remove pins, and then we're going to be adding the top layer of fabric. My fabric is not directional, but if yours is, make sure it's in the correct direction prior to pinning. And now we're going to be making a mark 5 inches, and that's where we're not going to sew, so we can turn the cover right side out. Once sewn, we're going to remove the pins and clip our corners, and also cut off the little tabs of the handles. Just be sure to not go through any of your stitching. And now turn the cover right side out. For the corners, what I like to use is a dowel rod. And now we're going to iron the cover. What I like to do is fold in the opening edges where we turned it, and then once it's ironed, then we're going to be sewing with a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. And now we're going to sew the button in the center of the handles opposite side of the elastic. And now we're going to add our Bible. And now let's begin making the pen holder. And the measurements for the fabric for the pen holder is in the description box. We begin by folding the contrasting fabric in half and on the folded edge, top stitch at 1/8 of an inch. And then I mark a line in the center of the contrasting fabric, and then we're going to sew it on the line onto one of the pieces of the main fabric. And now we're going to be adding the elastic to the center. We're going to pin it, or you can even use wonder clips, and then we're going to sew all the way around, excluding our little markings where we're going to have it to turn. And I do like using approximately 3 inches for the turning. It makes it a lot easier since it's kind of a small item. And then sew 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Now clip your corners and then turn right side out. And then we're going to be folding our opening fabric to the inside and iron. And now we're going to top stitch 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And now our book set is complete. I really like the idea of the pen holder where it's detachable because you don't need it all the time. I'm also going to be linking the Easter Bunny video in the iCard. I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of scraps, and Easter at the time of this video is just around the corner, and they're really cute to add to any Easter basket. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Happy sewing, and see you next time.